I want to speak about this video I came across of this Haitian lady mad at foundational Black Americans that we ain't getting out here and putting the cape on for them regarding white people speaking out against them about eating cats and dogs. We ain't obligated to get out here and play the role of spokespersons and fight anybody's battle for them. If y'all want some fighting done as Haitian people, why don't y'all get it done amongst yourselves? It has nothing to do with foundational Black Americans. For the life of me, I can't understand why every road got to tie and lead back to people speaking about foundational Black Americans. Why do we got to be the subject of every conversation? Is beyond me. Truth be told, if y'all want it done, some kind of fighting and advocacy, get it done for yourselves. We ain't playing the role of parents and fighting y'all battle and being the mouthpiece and the spokesperson for y'all. Them days is over with. We've been fighting Black people's battles globally on a global level for many years as foundational Black Americans, but that relationship wasn't reciprocal. You know what I mean? You guys wasn't putting no points up on the board. We've been the only consistent Black group as foundational Black Americans, the only group, period, if you ask me, that have ever consistently fought the system of racism, white supremacy, tooth to nails, and never dropped nor fumbled the ball. We've always ran that damn ball straight down the intersection and never looked back. We never let up off the system of racism, white supremacy. And you other groups of people take the system of racism, white supremacy as a joke. Y'all know y'all turn the blind eye to it. We don't turn the blind eye to no injustices and oppression. We fight it tooth and nails. Y'all ain't got the same resilience, will, and tenacity as a foundational Black American. Not to be disrespectful, but y'all come up over here and want to sit and tell us what we doing and what we ain't doing. And that's totally disrespectful because foundational Black Americans made the lane for y'all to flee too. So I got the audio and the video of this family, and we're going to slowly walk through and talk about this thing. Fair use.
Haitian Americans are extremely disappointed in Black America. Maybe not all, maybe it's just that.
We don't give a damn if Haitians is disappointed with Black Americans, because Black Americans been that only group of Black people fighting racism, white supremacy. Not to say that, we ain't got some people fighting it here and there, but consistently, foundational Black Americans have never let up on fighting the system of racism, white supremacy. If y'all want something done, why don't you stop being punctified and cowardice to call out white people who's putting this information out here in favor of dumping the situation on foundational Black Americans? Because that ain't cool. We got nothing to do with this situation. We ain't the ones putting out and spreading this information about y'all eating cats and dogs. It's white people. So call white people out. And that's a punctified and cowardice move to put it on us. But let's continue.
The Haitian people that I know, but I'm telling you, they're extremely disappointed in Black America, because the way we would really love to handle this whole, they're eating cats, they're eating dogs, the xenophobia, the racism that's coming up against Haitian people right now, the way we would love to handle it, the way we know to get results, we're not able to do it. And it's not.
Stop being punctified and cowardice. You can do anything you want. You got free will. You just too punctified to stand up to white people. So you rather put it on foundational Black Americans, and that ain't cool because we got nothing to do with y'all struggles and battles. The same way we stood out there and fought our own, y'all got to fight your own. We the only one that fights our battles as foundational Black Americans. We don't look around and blame the situation on other people or somebody's calling us out. No, we go to the person that's saying it and that's calling us out and take it up with them. The same way y'all need to. Stop being afraid to call out white people. But let's continue.
Not because we can't do it, or it's not because we don't want to do it. It's because we understand that a lot of Black Americans, you all have been raised with this mentality that a white man will hurt you, and then you'll go to court and beg another white man for justice.
Foundational Black Americans don't beg white people for not a damn thing. We raised to fight the system of racism, white supremacy. We taught that at a young age. We taught that at a young age. And a lot of you other groups of people, y'all taught to just be cool with the status quo, to go along and get along. As long as it don't directly affect y'all don't give a damn about fighting no racism, white supremacy. And that just ain't our mindset. That just ain't the vibe we on. We ain't even raised like that as FBA. So miss me with that us looking to white people for justice, because we know if we want justice, we got to produce it ourselves. Why you think slavery and all that stuff was knocked down? It wasn't knocked down because that's what white people wanted to do. Nah, we got out here and turned the hell up as foundational Black Americans and fought to knock that system down. That's the only reason it was knocked down. White people looked at it as they had a good thing going on with slavery. It would have never been knocked down if it wasn't for us and use other groups of people that are so damn disrespectful. Y'all tether class of people would have never been able to flee and get over here to America if it wasn't for us FBA standing on business. But let's continue.
You beg another white man for your humanity, even when you can tell after generations that white people will never fucking give it to you. As a matter of fact, the little bit of humanity they were willing to acknowledge, they're now trying to take it away from you and take your ass back to fucking slavery.
Ain't nobody taking us back to slavery as no foundational black Americans. We had died before we let that go on. So stop trying to perpetuate your own fears and self-doubts on us, because y'all just mad that y'all had to flee and, the devastation of y'all homeland. Instead of getting it together, y'all ain't got no codification over there for one. That's the problem, what's going on in y'all homeland. And y'all afraid to fight the system of racism, white supremacy that got that country in shambles. But let's continue.
Haitians are revolutionaries. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. All right? I made a video not long ago.
They love to relive that Haitian revolution, and I salute to the brothers and sisters that stood up in that Haitian revolution. You know what I mean? To the black family that stood up in that. But that's just one point that's on the board. Y'all can't keep reliving that Haitian revolution because nobody's putting no points up on the boards now but foundational black Americans for black people, and we ain't fighting everybody's battles for them no more, truth be told. And that's why a lot of people are mad now because they ain't got us to be that group of people to get out here and advocate for them. We just standing on lineage business, and ain't nothing wrong with that, just being about your own people, because in order for us to help anyone else, we must first help ourselves, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But let's continue.
Where I said you will never see a white man or woman call a Haitian person a nigger to their face because everybody around would fucking murder them. And when the police show up, no one knows what happened. And if you ever see that person live, it's because
they just robbed and pillaged y'all homelands and got it in extreme devastation. So y'all got to flee up over here. Y'all ain't trying to fight no white supremacy because the first sign of danger with people in their homelands, the only thing they can think about is flee. It never stands out to them. A light switch don't ever go off in their brains to say, let's get on cold with one another. Let's stand up to the system of racism, white supremacy, and injustice that got our country like this. Nah, y'all just flee. So miss me with all that.
The Haitian people are going to follow him to his house or her house and in their bloodline right then and there. That's the energy that Haitian people.
She talking some big money nonsense, that she ain't or none of them ain't going to do, because if they was going to be willing to do this, they would have did it in their homeland where white supremacy got it in extreme devastation. But instead of, getting the oppressor's foot off their neck, they want to come up over here, in the foundational black American space and in our business. And I don't rock with that. But let's continue.
But you see, we can't really be on it like that in America because America, not many black Americans actually want freedom, and they love podcasts. They all have social media. All the ones who have been buck broken with this slave mentality have social.
Not many of us want freedom. We've been the only ones, black people globally, that been ever out there on the front lines consistently fighting racism, white supremacy, injustice. And then you want to say buck broken. Buck broken is when you got to flee to another country because your country is in shambles as a direct result of racism, white supremacy, and y'all not being able to get on cold with one another and get their foot up off y'all neck. So that's being buck broken. Us FBAs, we far from buck broken. We always stood on business. That's just embedded in us to fight injustices and oppression at a young age. And many of you other groups, I can't say the same for, but let's continue.
Social media, they have platforms or they're in positions of power. So they are there to pacify the rest of Black America. So whenever something happens, like your young black men get lynched, or a black man is about to get executed for a crime that he did not fucking commit, and they know he did not commit it, when those things happen, Haitians want to do it in the way that we know how to do it. But if we start this revolution, the worst thing in the world is for us if we were to ever start this revolution and we see Black Americans, y'all would rather stay home.
Stay home. We've been the only ones fighting injustices and oppression for black people globally consistently. We've been fighting everybody that's black's battles. And we look around thinking that other people are down with us and standing toe to toe with us. in unison with us, and we look back and nobody's there. Only people that we see standing around us is foundational Black Americans. So miss me with that. We've always been on the front lines, and you should have some more gratitude and humbleness and respect for foundational Black Americans and stay in your own lane. Just my thoughts on the matter, but call out racism, white supremacy, and the white people that's putting this information out here on your people. It's not foundational Black Americans, but you just too punctified and cowardice to do it. Peace.